Good afternoon, students, and welcome to Q&A summer course. So, students, let me first introduce myself. So, I'm Sunit Kumar, your mathematics teacher. So, students, we'll be continuing with number system. So, today we'll do rationalization in the class. So, let's start the class, students. Am I audible to everyone? Kaving, Samagna, Subhranshu. Are you all able to hear me? Okay. So as I said, we'll continue with number system, and today is the 8th lecture for this. And the prerequisites for today's class is that you should know the basics of the number system. That means, what are integers and what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, what are rational numbers, and what are irrational numbers, and what are real numbers. The outline for today's class, student, is that we'll do rationalization. As I said, we'll start with rationalization. So let us understand the meaning, why we need to do rationalization. So basically, when you uh, denote a number, real number, in the form, let's say, 2 by root 2. So basically, you should the standard form says that you should not have a square root term or an irrational number in the denominator. So it should be, the denominator should be a rational number. So in that case, what we'll do to rationalize the denominator, if we multiply both numerator and denominator by root 2, this will become 2 root 2 over 2. Root 2 into root 2 will give you 2, and 2 into root 2 is 2 root 2. Now this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. You will get root 2. Now root 2 by 1 has 1 as the denominator, which is a rational number, right? So the idea of rationalization is that if there is an irrational number in the denominator, we convert that irrational number into a rational number, right? So there are various methods of doing that. There are various ways of doing that. So first one is rationalization factor for 1 by root a. So if we have some number which is of the form 1 over root a, then in that case we will multiply both numerator and denominator by root a so that the denominator becomes a rational number. Is it clear? Did you understand the meaning of rationalization factor for 1 by root a? Why it is root a? So 1 by root a, if we multiply both numerator and denominator by root a, we'll have root a over a. So which makes the denominator a rational number, and that's why root a is called the rationalization factor. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Rationalization factor for 1 by a plus minus root b, right? So here you can see the denominator has a plus minus root b. So we will multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of that. What does conjugate means? Understand that if we have in denominator 1 by 2 plus root 3, the conjugate of 2 plus root 3 is 2 minus root 3. So what we'll do, we'll multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the irrational number which is there in the denominator. So in the denominator we have 2 plus root 3. So irrational number which is the conjugate of that is 2 minus root 3, and we will multiply both numerator and denominator by 2 minus root 3. Is it clear? Do you understand the meaning of conjugate of an irrational number? Okay. So if we have a plus root b, the conjugate of that will be a minus root b. So plus will change into minus. The sign will become opposite. And if we have a minus root b, it is going to become a plus root b, the conjugate. Is this clear? Yes, Anay, we have to do it every time. So, when we have something of the form 1 by 2 plus root 3, we will have to convert this denominator 2 plus root 3 into a rational number. So for that, we multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of 2 plus root 3, that is 2 minus root 3. So if you further solve this, we will have 2 minus root 3 divided by, if you multiply the denominator 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3, you are going to use the identity a plus b into a minus b. What is a plus b into a minus b? It is a square minus b square. So this will become 2 square minus root 3 square. So that is 2 minus root 3 divided by 4 minus 3, or 2 minus root 3 divided by 1. So here you can see that the denominator is a rational number, and hence you have rationalized this denominator, which was an irrational number earlier. Is it clear? Yeah, conjugate always will give you a opposite sign number. So if it was a plus root b, you will get a minus root b. Similarly, if it is a minus root b, you will get a plus root b. Is this concept clear to everyone? The concept for rationalization factor and conjugate. You can give me a thumbs up or write it in the chat if you have understood it. Okay. So Subhranshu Anay has understood this. Saktivel and Aditi, Samagn and Kevin. Have you also understood this? Okay. So let's go ahead, students. So I'll rub this so that we do the other points as well. So rationalization factor for 1 by root a was root a, and rationalization factor of 1 by a plus minus root b is a minus plus root b. This means that if there is a plus sign, you will have minus sign in the conjugate, and if there is a minus sign, you will have plus sign in the conjugate. Right? Now, if you have the other form, if we have a factor like this, so rationalization factor for 1 by root a plus minus root b. So there in the previous case, you had a plus minus root b. So a did not have a square root over it. So if you have a square root there with a as well, means both are irrational number, root a and root b, then again the conjugate would be its rationalization factor. So root a plus root b will have, so I'll write it here, root a plus root b will have a conjugate of root a minus root b, and root a minus root b will have a conjugate of root a plus root b. Is this clear? Is this clear, students? Okay. So please quickly note this down. The rationalization factor of 1 by root a is root a. Rationalization factor of 1 by a plus minus root b is a minus plus root b with the sign opposite. And rationalization factor for 1 by root a plus minus root b is root a minus plus of root b. The sign becomes opposite. Now, with those rules, we'll keep it in mind and we'll solve the questions, some examples to understand it better. So rationalize the denominator of 1 by root 2. So to convert 1 by root 2, the denominator, into a rational number, we said that we will multiply it with, so 1 by root 2 has root 2 as its rationalization factor, because if we multiply the denominator by root 2, it will become a rational number, that is 2. So this will be equal to root 2 over 2, right? Because we know that rationalization factor of 1 by root a is root a, that's why we have multiplied 1 by root 2 in both numerator and denominator to get this rationalized denominator. And root 2 upon 2 is not 1. You are correct in your answer. The denominator is root 2 by 2, but not 1. Okay. Okay. So it was a typo. So root 2 by 2 is the rationalized denominator form of 1 by root 2. Is this clear to everyone? Shall we move to the next question? Next example? Okay. Now rationalize the denominator of 1 by 2 plus root 3. Can you quickly tell me the denominator rationalized? What is the value of this after rationalization? 1 by 2 plus root 3. Please try this. We know that conjugate of 2 plus root 3 is 2 minus root 3. We will multiply both numerator and denominator by 2 minus root 3 to get the answer. Can you try and let me know? So here, if you see, we have 1 by 2 plus root 3. If we have to rationalize the denominator, so we will multiply both numerator and denominator by 2 minus root 3. So when you multiply both numerator and denominator by 2 minus root 3, Subhranshu, your sign is opposite. Just check the sign. So when you multiply both numerator and denominator by 2 minus root 3, you will have 2 minus root 3 divided by. Now in denominator, you have a plus root b, a minus root b. So this is a square minus root b square. So this is 2 square minus root 3 square. So you have 2 minus root 3 by 4 minus 3. So 2 minus root 3 over 1. So this is 2 minus root 3. So rationalize the denominator. After rationalizing the denominator, the value which we are going to get is 2 minus root 3 upon 1. Yes, Aditi, it is correct. Anna, yes, it is correct. Subhranshu, yes. The sign was by mistake you had put plus. So it is minus there. Okay. Shall we move to the next one now? Let's go to the next question. So you have to rationalize the denominator of 5 over root 3 minus root 5. You have to rationalize the denominator of 5 divided by root 3 minus root 5. What is the rationalization factor here? Can someone tell me the rationalization factor here? So the denominator is root 3 minus root 5, which is an irrational number. We have to convert that into a rational number by multiplying that denominator with its conjugate. So the conjugate of root 3 minus root 5 is root 3 plus root 5. Yes, Anne? So 5 divided by root 3 minus root 5. If we have to rationalize the denominator, we will multiply it by the conjugate of root 3 minus root 5, which is root 3 plus root 5. Okay. So once we multiply this, we have 5 times root 3 plus root 5 divided by root 3 square minus root 5 square. So this is 5 times root 3 plus root 5 divided by root 3 square is 3. and root 5 square is 5. So this is 3 minus 5. So 5 times root 3 plus root 5 divided by minus 2. So this is, if I take, because we should not have negative sign in the denominator, we have to take it in the numerator. So this is minus 5 by 2 times root 3 plus root 5. So this is your, value after rationalizing the denominator of 5 divided by root 3 minus root 5. Yes, Subhranshu, it is correct. And I just check the calculation because we have minus 5 by 2 here in the answer and not 3 in the denominator. Are you able to get the correct answer now, everyone? So students, today after the class, means when we end the class at 12:30, once we have taught you what, how to rationalize, we'll practice on platform on the same topic. And so please stay tuned. You have to log in on the platform after the class. We'll do the practice session after the class in this meeting only. So you don't need to leave the meeting. You will stay here for half an hour. We'll practice on the platform so that you are able to see your proficiency, whether you have understood this concept or not. Okay. So please stay with us for the platform practice just after the class, which will start at 12:30. So So let's go to the next question, students. Now we have to rationalize the denominator of 1 by 7 plus 3 root 2. So you have to tell me what is the conjugate of 7 plus 3 root 2, and you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of 7 plus 3 root 2 to rationalize the denominator here. So if you see here, we have 1 by 7 plus 3 root 2. Now, what is the conjugate of 7 plus 3 root 2? Quickly, you can unmute and tell me the answer as well. What is the conjugate of 7 plus 3 root 2?
7 minus 3 root 2.
Very good, Anya. So it is 7 minus 3 root 2. So to rationalize the denominator here, we will multiply it by the conjugate, that is 7 minus 3 root 2 in both numerator and denominator. Is this clear to everyone? Now let us multiply. So 1 into 7 minus 3 root 2 will be 7 minus 3 root 2 only. And in the denominator, we have 7 plus 3 root 2 into 7 minus 3 root 2. So this is a plus b, a minus b, a square minus b square. So 7 square minus 3 root 2 square. So this is 7 minus 3 root 2 by 49 minus 18. So because 3 root 2 into 3 root 2, you will multiply 3 into 3, that is 9, and root 2 into root 2 is 2. So 9 into 2 will give you 18. So now this is 7 minus 3 root 2 and divided by 31. So after rationalizing the denominator, this is the answer which you get, 7 minus 3 root 2 over 31. Is this clear, everyone? Please write this down and then we can move to the next question. Shall we move ahead? Has everyone noted this down? So students, in this question, you have to classify the following number as rational or irrational. Okay. So what we discussed in the previous class was that if we add a rational and an irrational, the result is irrational. Similarly, if we multiply a rational with an irrational, the result will be irrational. If we divide a rational and irrational, the result is irrational. Similarly, if we subtract a rational and irrational, the result is irrational. But if these two numbers are irrational, means if we add two irrational, it may be an irrational number or it may be a rational number. So let's start with the first one. The first one, 2 minus root 5. You are subtracting an irrational number with a rational number. So what is the result? Result will be irrational. Aditi, you are correct. Anay, you are also correct. So first one, it is irrational. Okay. Now, quickly tell me, what is the second one? Three plus root 23 minus root 23. Is it rational or irrational? Second question. So first one, we know that 2 minus root 5, this is irrational. Because when you subtract a rational with an irrational, you get an irrational number. What about the second one? Second one, 3 plus root 23 minus root 23 plus root 23 and minus root 23 gets cancelled when you open the bracket. So this is going to be equal to 3, right? Since it is going to be equal to 3, this is a rational number and not irrational. So we were just talking about an example where when you subtract two irrational numbers, the result may be irrational or rational. Yes, and I'll tell you. See, when you have 3 plus root 23 and then minus root 23, you have opened the bracket. Now plus root 23 minus root 23 gets cancelled and you will get it equal to 3. Now since this is equal to 3, 3 is a rational number, and that's why 3 plus root 23 minus root 23 will be equal to a rational number equal to 3. Okay, great. Now the third one, students, 2 root 7 divided by 7 root 7. So here, again, if you see, can you tell me whether it is rational or irrational? You have to take care whether, if there is something which is getting cancelling out, something which is getting cancelled out. So if you see here, we can cancel root 7 in both numerator and denominator, and this is equal to 2 by 7. 2 by 7 is of the form P by Q, and this is rational. Yes, you are correct, Anay. This is a rational number. Aditi and Samagn, yes, you guys are also correct. This is a rational number because we can represent this in the form 2 P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Now in 1 by root 2, can you tell me whether it is rational or irrational? Fourth one. Anay, yes, correct. It is irrational. Why it is irrational? Because we are dividing a rational number by an irrational number. The result is going to be irrational. So this is an irrational number. So this is an irrational number. Fifth one. What about fifth one? Irrational number. Why? Because 2 is rational, pi is irrational. So if we multiply a rational with an irrational, the result again is going to be irrational. Is it clear? 2 pi is going to be an irrational number. Correct? Okay, let's go ahead. So let's go to the next question now. Now we have to simplify each of the following expression. So this is, the same concept, operation on real numbers, which we did in the previous class. So you have to multiply 3 plus root 3 into 2 plus root 2. So this is normal multiplication. You will multiply 3 with 2 and root 2 first, and then root 3 with 2 and root 2 after that. So I'll do one for you, the first one. So if we have 3 plus root 3 into 2 plus root 2. So what we are going to do here is we are going to multiply 3 with 2 plus root 2. So this will be 3 times 2 plus root 2 plus of root 3 times 2 plus root 2. Is this clear? When you open the brackets. So this will be 3 into 2 is 6 plus of 3 root 2 plus 2 times root 3 plus root 3 into root 2 is root 6. So the answer is 6 plus 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 plus root 6. This is the answer for you. Yes, Anay, correct. Good, you are getting the same answer. Saktivel, Samagna, Anay has already got the answer. Subhranshu, are you all able to understand the first one? So those who have done the first one, please attempt the second question. 3 plus root 3 into 3 minus root 3. If you use the identity x plus y into x minus y, it is x square minus y square. So use that identity to solve this, the second one. Please solve this second question, 3 plus root 3 into 3 minus root 3. And what is the answer for this? Quickly. 3 plus root 3 into 3 minus root 3. Yes, Subhranshu, it is correct. Anay, what is root 9? Root 9 is 3. So 9 minus 3, what is the answer then? So, second one, we have 3 plus root 3 into 3 minus root 3. So this is going to be 3 square minus root 3 square. So 9 minus 3, which is equal to 6, right? So if you are saying it is root 9 is 3. So 9 minus 3 will give you 6. Now once you have done, no, it's completely fine. I just wanted to correct it. Now third one, root 5 plus root 2 whole square. How do you solve this? You will use the identity a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Root 5 plus root 2 whole square. So this is, we will use the identity. So this is root 5 whole square plus 2 times root 5 into root 2 plus of root 2 square. Right? Now solve this. What is the answer here? So root 5 square is root 5 into root 5. This will be 5 plus 2 times root 5 into root 2. You can take 5 and 2 inside the root. That is 5 into 2 is 10. So this is 2 root 10. Root 2 square is 2. Root 2 into root 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 2 root 10. Is this clear? 7 plus 2 root 10. Yes, Anna, it is correct. You will then add 5 and 2 together. You will get 7 plus 2 root 10. So simplify it and then you will get the answer. Now fourth one. This is easy. Quickly tell me the answer for the fourth one. Again, same identity. X minus y into x plus y will give you x square minus y square. So root 5 minus root 2 whole square. Root 5 minus root 2 into root 5 plus root 2 will be root 5 square minus root 2 square. Yes, correct, Ane. It is 3. So here if you see in the fourth one, this will be equal to root 5 whole square minus of root 2 whole square. Root 5 whole square is 5 minus root 2 whole square is 2. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Is this clear? Did you understand this? So operations on real numbers, is this topic clear to everyone? Shall we move to the next? Okay, let's go to the next one now. So the question says, I'll just read it out for you. The question says, recall pi is defined as the ratio of the circumference, say C, of a circle to its diameter, say D. So what is pi? Pi is defined as, this is a very important definition, students, right? So generally, when someone asks you what is pi, you straight away, you will either say it is 22/7 or 3.14, right? That is the value of the pi. You have to understand the meaning of pi. So pi is actually the ratio of the circumference. How do you calculate the circumference? The circumference is 2 times pi into r, right? So the ratio of circumference, that is 2 pi r, to its diameter. What is diameter? 2 times radius. So 2 pi r divided by 2r will give you, you will cancel 2r in both numerator and denominator. You will get the value as pi. So pi is the ratio of circumference to the diameter. Okay. Now, let us understand this. So when I say pi is circumference by diameter, circumference is 2 pi r divided by diameter, which is 2r. So this 2 and r gets cancelled. You will get the value of pi. Now, since circumference will be a number, right? And diameter is also a number. So this seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. But see, when I say pi is equal to C by D, it will be rational only when circumference and diameter both are integers. But here the circumference is equal to 2 pi r because it has pi inside it and pi is not rational. We cannot say that this is going to be rational. So the answer is that this is irrational. So this seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. How will you resolve this contradiction? So pi, the two things, the decimal expansion of pi is non-terminating and non-recurring. So since decimal expansion of pi is non-terminating and non-recurring, so that's why it is an irrational number. Is it clear? And when I say this is a ratio of circumference by diameter, it will be rational only when circumference and diameter both are integers. But circumference may not be an integer. It may be an irrational number as well. Is it clear? Is this clear, students? Why pi is not rational? Okay. Now represent 9.3 on the number line. We had done this in the previous class again. How do you make square root of 9.3 on the number line? Who is going to tell me the steps one by one? What is the first step? First step I'll tell you. We will draw a number line like this. We will have this point as, for example, A. And let's say we have another point B and this distance is 9.3 units. Correct? Okay. Now we have to represent it on the number line, and this is square root of 9.3. We had learned a method that's what we are doing. So 9.3 is from A to B. What we are going to do, we will take 1 unit between one. We will extend this by 1 more unit and we'll get a point C. So 9.3 plus 1, that becomes 10.3. So from A to C, we have 9.3 plus of 1, that is 10.3. Correct? Now what we are going to do, we are going to find the midpoint of AC. So 10.3 divided by 2, if you do, this is 5.15, right? So let's say this is the midpoint which we have got. Okay. So let's say this is the midpoint which is denoted by O. Now, keeping the compass at O, what we do is we draw a semicircle here. Right? Let us draw a semicircle. So we means on the copy, what you will do, you will keep the compass at O and draw this semicircle having the radius as OA. Is this clear till this point? Now next step, what we do, we draw a perpendicular at B which cuts this semicircle at some point D. We draw a perpendicular at B on the number line which cuts the semicircle at point D. Right? Now this BD is the length BD is actually square root of 9.3. So we keep the compass at B, take our arc as BD, arc length as BD, and draw an arc which cuts here the number line at point, let's say E. So this point is actually root 9.3, and this point B is the origin. So the distance B to E, this is actually equal to root 9.3. Is this clear? Ane? I'm talking about square root of 9.3 and not 9.3. Representing 9.3 means you have to measure it by scale 9.3 on the number line, and then measure one unit on the scale again on the number line from B to C. Now once you have got AC, find the midpoint of that. 10.3 divided by 2 is 5.15. So this point from here to here, this is 5.15. Now keeping O as the center and OA as the radius, draw a semicircle. Draw a perpendicular at B, which meets this semicircle at point D. Now BD, length BD is square root of 9.3. So we put the compass at B and draw an arc having that arc length as BD to meet the number line at point E. So that point E from B, the distance B to E is equal to square root of 9.3, which we had to plot on the number line. Is this clear to everyone?